Hello chemists, welcome to an introduction to material chemistry. In this video, we're going to learn about the sticky and stretchy science of slime. Let's begin with asking ourselves a question. What do you think of when I say material chemist? So here we have a picture, and when looking at this photo, we can ask questions like, what do you notice about this picture? What do you think this person is doing? Where do you see chemicals in this picture? Where do you see science tools being used in this photo? This scientist is a material scientist. What does the name material chemist make you think of? Well, I think of material, and a material is just a substance that can be used to make things. For example, the materials that make this table could be wood, plastic, and even metal. Material chemists study different materials and how they react with each other for a specific purpose. For example, they develop paints that are waterproof, heat absorbing, and innovate lighter materials that can be used to make cars and airplanes. They ask questions like, what materials can we mix to form a new material? How well does the material hold? And what can we add to it to make it hold better? And what is the texture of the material? And could we add something to this material to make it a different texture? Chemistry helps answer all the questions we just asked. You see, the properties of a material, its texture, size, color, flexibility, strength, and stiffness, all depend on the material's chemical structure. What is a chemical structure, you may ask? Think about it like DNA. Just like our DNA is unique to each of us, each material has a unique chemical structure. One reason why material chemistry is so cool is that we get to experiment with different materials and manipulate their chemical structures to form new materials. Today, we're going to work with polymers, which are long chain-like molecules made up of shorter molecules joined together. Or you can think of it as something that can be combined with something else, thus changing its structure. What is a molecule? It is a group of atoms bonded together in a chemical reaction. An example that we can find in our houses are glue and plastic. So in front of me, I have a few different examples of polymers. They may be ones you are familiar with because there are 4 different kinds of slime. Each slime has a unique structure. Remember, that's what's happening inside our slime that gives it its texture and its properties. Let's look at them one by one. First, I have putty. Putty is smooth and it stretches really well. It can stretch at least 40 centimeters. Putty also holds its shape before oozing out. Second is fluffy slime. This feels soft and rubbery. It stretches like the putty, but not nearly as long. Look, it will break when I stretch it too far. Our next slime is really sticky. It almost feels wet. It doesn't hold its shape, but once I put it back in the container, it kind of oozes out and then sticks back right in. Lastly, here's our last slime. It's a stretch toy. This feels dry and sticky. It's not as sticky as our last slime though. This one stretches really far and bounces, but it doesn't break. Let's talk more about slime. Have you ever made slime before? What materials did you mix to create that slime? The first material we need is glue. Glue is made of long chains of polymers that can move around freely until they dry out. If you want your slime to be colored, make sure to add food coloring to the glue before you start the chemical reaction. We'll make that reaction happen by adding a solution of borax dissolved into water, which creates boron ions. Using warm water helps the borax dissolve. When you mix your materials together, the boron ions will act like hooks, pulling together the glue polymers and making a new material, slime. Now it's your turn to be a material chemist and make your own slime. You will need borax, glue, cornstarch, food coloring, pipettes, plastic spoons, plastic cups and bottles, pencils, craft sticks, and a ruler. In the activities that follow, you will learn how to create slime out of various polymers and reagents. I have a few tips about making slime before you go off and be a material chemist. Did you ever try to make slime and it ended up too slimy? Well, there's one lesson to consider in material chemistry, a little at a time. Think of it like this. Have you ever baked something, a cake or muffins? What's one thing that you notice about the ingredients? They have precise measurements. If a recipe calls for 2 cups of flour and you use 1 instead, the final product of the cake could be affected. This is similar to the measurement process in material chemistry. If you use a little too much or too little of a material, it could affect your final product. So a helpful tip when you're being a material chemist and making slime or bouncy balls is to start with a little of each material rather than a lot. Because once you add too much, there's no going back. So take your time, observe, and allow yourself to make revisions. If your slime is too sticky, add a pinch of borax, which will solidify the molecules. If it's too slimy or wet, add in some cornstarch little by little until the slime is at a desired consistency. Material chemistry consists of patience, observation, revision, and attention. Oh, and of course fun. So have fun being material chemist.